Well, good morning. I see one person here on. I don't know who you are, and as you can see, I've got a problem with my camera here. I'm not smart enough to know how to do this, so it's zooming a bit. Welcome to others who are coming on. I am in a public place here. Now, this is a virtual background, but I'm in a public place here, so I don't know if I will be disturbed or not. I'm in Lake City, South Carolina. I began a conference today, and but this is right now the best option I have for doing this live stream. Again, welcome to Sarah. God bless you this morning. Good to see you, and others who may be coming on. Uh, I'll wait just a minute to get to the top of the hour. I am in Psalm 63. Psalm 63. And if you've got a Bible and you want to go there, and I just remind you that this session, uh, Sarah is watching from Pakistan. Well, God bless you. Well, Sarah, I do this every Sunday morning, and I'm opening a passage, and the whole purpose here is how do you pray the Bible? How do you use the Bible as a prayer book? And my contention is that this is the best praying that there is. Praying the Bible is better than hearing the Bible preached because you get it for yourself. Sheila from South Carolina, God bless you. Larry from South Carolina, others coming on. Again, I'm in Psalm 63 today. I apologize. Some of you are faithful to this call, and I have been down for a couple weeks. I just flew in from California. Barbara met me last night in Columbia. We drove here, got in late, and I'm here for 4 days, and then I'm in Fayetteville, Arkansas. But I missed the last couple of weeks, and my apologies. Shirley, God bless you. Um, uh, and Mike Klecker and Tracy uh, and so forth. God bless all of you. God bless all of you. Well, let's pray. Father, uh, each day, and I know these people do as well, each day I need a word from you from your word. And so today I just pray that you would help me break this down as I might pray this in Jesus' name. Now, let me just say to you, this is not a Bible study, so I'm coming to you this morning, having gotten up a couple hours ago and opened my Bible to this passage. There were two Psalms that the early church, the apostolic church, prayed every day. One of these Psalms was Psalm 63. And they prayed this Psalm every morning. And so this morning, I just picked this up and I said, what are the big ideas here? 5 things you want to do. You want to read a passage of Scripture. Now, this is 11 verses. Sometimes you may want to only read 2 or 3. The second thing you want to do is you want to reflect on this, get your head around it. And then third, you want to wrestle with this passage. You want to pray it back to God. And then you want to rest and you want to let God talk to you. And then finally, you want to feel the power of this through the day. You want to feel the strength of this through the day. So 5 things you want to do. This is an ancient model for praying the Bible. So again, I'm in Psalm 63. And in a good Bible, you will have the verses set apart. In this Bible that I have, it's a New King James Bible. I'm not sure if it's a Collins Bible or I don't have that on it. I've used it so long it's beaten up. but it has the verses separated. So when I'm looking at Psalm 63, verses 1 and 2 stand alone, and there's a space. Now, here's what that tells you. That's a unit. Now, sometimes they get it wrong, but most of the time they get it right. That's a unit. And then Psalm 3, 4, and 5 stand together. That's the second unit. And then Psalm 6, 7, and 8 or verses 6, 7, and 8 stand together. That's the third unit. And then 9 and 10, fourth unit, and verse 11 by itself, the fifth unit. And you want to look at how this psalm is broken up, or any psalm is broken up. And that will give you some sense of the ideological movement in that psalm. And that's what you're looking for. If you walk through the forest and only see the trees, but you don't have a sense of how the forest is configured, you'll get lost. You don't want to get lost. So let's go through this really quickly, and then we'll come back and back off and take a view at this. Here's why they chose this psalm. By the way, this is a psalm of David. He's in the wilderness of Judah. He's being pursued by Saul. His life is uncertain. He's been anointed to be the king, but Saul does not want to relent of the kingdom. He's trying to kill him. Now, this is not a good thing if you've got somebody trying to kill you. It's not a good thing. And so he says, "Oh God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. In the morning, early will I seek you." And so this is why the early church, the apostolic church, the first few centuries, prayed this psalm every day. They had an enemy. They went through 10 imperial persecutions. Their life was often uncertain. They never knew when authorities were going to burst in on their worship scene and take their take their life. And so I was listening to David Gibbs the other day. He's an attorney, and he said he was in China, I think it was, and he said there was this young girl that came forth to sing before he spoke, and he said she asked, "Could I sing 2 songs today?" And she was so full of joy, she was so bubbly, and he found out that her father had been killed for the faith, her mother had been killed for the faith, and she said, "They're following me. This may be the last time I'm in church. I want to sing twice today." She's facing the possibility of dying for her faith, but she wants to sing. This is David. "God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh longs for you. I'm in my body. I'm aching for your presence. I'm in a dry and thirsty land. There's no water here. I've looked for you in your sanctuary to see your power and your glory." That's unit 1, and it's all about going after God with an enemy in the desert, in a place where there's no water. And now you come to the second unit. This is verses 3 through 5, Psalm 63. "Because your loving kindness is better than life." I think here, I didn't have a chance to check it, but my hunch here is that the word loving kindness is the Hebrew word hesed or chesed, and it's the word for agape love in the Old Testament. It's covenant love. Because of your covenant love, because of your bonds of love, because you won't let me go, it's better than life. Let's say it more plainly. If I die, if Saul catches me, if Saul kills me, then having known you will be the best thing that has ever happened to me. Your loving kindness is better than being alive. It is life itself, but it's better than life. "Therefore my lips shall praise you, and I'll lift up my hands in your name, and my soul will be satisfied as with marrow and fatness deep down in my body. My body will feel the impact of your life. This is really an extraordinary idea that my own physical body will feel the impact of your life, and my mouth shall praise you with joyful lips. Now you come to unit 3. This is Psalm 63. It's the psalm that the apostolic church prayed every day. Verse 6. When I remember you on my bed, I meditate you in the night watches. Now the night watches were, of course, if you're being hunted, you're going to have watchmen. But this is the idea of more than just watching out for a physical enemy. This is watching out for God. It's also watching out for a spiritual energy. It's prayer in the night. It's the idea of being a sentry in the night. It's intercessory prayer. I remember you on my bed. I meditate on you in the night watches, the times that I'm up in the night praying, because you have been my help. Therefore, in the shadow of your wings. This is one of the places in the Bible, Psalm 91 is another, where God is given the imagery of a bird or a character with wings. And I'm going to get close to him like a biddy. I'm as close to the mother hen. I'm going to get under his wings. In your wings, I will rejoice. In the shadow of your wings, I'm trying to get close to God. My soul follows close behind you. Your right hand upholds me. That's the third unit. Here's the fourth unit, verses 9 and 10, Psalm 63. But you get 3 buts here. But those who seek my life to destroy it shall go down to the lower parts of the earth. That's the grave. That's hell. And they shall fall by the sword, and they shall become a portion for the jackals. But the king, that's David, shall rejoice in God. And everyone who has invested in him, everyone who swears by him, everyone who has taken the difficult position of being against King Saul, because Saul is after David, everyone who's been caught up in this national crisis. It's really interesting because that's kind of where we are today in America. Everybody who's been caught up in this national crisis, this struggle for the soul of the nation, everyone who swears by him shall boast. But the mouth of those who speak lies shall be stopped. Now, this is a psalm of lament. It's an imprecatory psalm because it's calling for the judgment of those that are opposing David. But it's a psalm in which David is not going after Saul. Saul is going after David. David is only defending himself as necessary. As you know, there is a moment when Saul enters into the cave at En Gedi, having no idea David is in the recesses of the cave. And Saul relieves himself and lays down and rests. And David cuts off the corner tassel of his talit. He could have killed him, but he didn't. And so Saul escapes the cave, and David emerges to say, look what I have. I was this close to you. I could have killed you, but I didn't. David is not pursuing Saul. Saul is pursuing David. And you have an enemy, and I have an enemy. And I'm not going after that enemy. I am convinced that enemy will go down to the lower parts of the earth. I am convinced that enemy will fall by the sword of Yahweh when Jesus returns. I am convinced that he will be a portion for the jackals. I am convinced that he will be bound and put into the bottomless pit. My job is to keep a disposition of praise in the middle of a battle. When I have an enemy, when I'm hiding from that enemy, when I'm in difficult, terrible times, my responsibility is to keep an attitude of praise. So early will I seek you. Every day, you have to take a disposition because you have no idea what your very real enemy, the evil one, you have no idea how he will come after you today. So let's go back through this again. And I want to show you what I did just a few minutes ago before I came on. And you can do this too. So I'm looking for the big ideas in this passage. So, oh God, you are my God. So the psalm begins with affirmation. Good prayer sees God. Even if you have an enemy after you, good prayer doesn't fixate on the enemy. You have to see God. You have to see him in all of his glory. You are my God. The second high point in the passage is found in Unit 2. Uh, uh, Early will I seek you because of your loving kindness is better than life. So the first thing that happens in this prayer is an affirmation of my relationship with God. Oh God, you are my God. Your loving kindness, your covenant love is better than life. The third high point is found in Unit 3, verse 7. You have been my help. And if you just pull these mountaintops out and you look at this, this becomes the prayer that you want to pray. Oh God, every day I pray this. You are my God. Early will I seek you. Your loving kindness, your covenant love towards me, your agape love. This is the equivalent of agape in the Old Testament. It's kesed. It's covenant love. Is better than life. You have been my help. And then you get these alternatives. This is the problem. I can't do anything about it. Those who seek my life, they seek to destroy me. I can't do anything about them. I just believe that in the end, they will not win. They will go down to the lower parts of the earth. And then you get the second but I, the king, will rejoice in you. And then you get the third but the mouth of those who speak lies shall stop. You know, when I get three things like this, I look for, see, but those who seek my life and those who speak lies. Those who seek my life and those who speak life. So you get the character. These people are about death. These people are about lies. And what you have in the middle is this declaration, but the king will rejoice in God. My ability, this is not easy. Your ability to rejoice in God in the face of somebody who's seeking your life and trying to destroy you. Your ability to rejoice in God in the face of somebody who's telling lies about you. This is the key to health. This is the key to life. And so early will I seek you. Because your love, you won't let go of me because you have been my help. Even when there are people who are trying to destroy me, even when there are people lying about me, I choose to rejoice in you. Now, what I look for when I look at a psalm is I look for those high points because, see, that becomes an outline for me. I can't remember this whole psalm, all 11 verses, but I can remember these high points. I can remember this. I can remember to pray this every day. God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. God, your loving kindness is better than life. God, you have been my help. There are those who are trying to destroy me. I have enemies. There are those who are telling lies about me. But I choose today to rejoice in your name. Now, again, when I go to a psalm, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the movement of that psalm. I'm looking for the outline. See, I can take this away. This becomes a powerful moment of prayer for me. Now, I'm going to take you into the woods here just a moment. But I don't want you to get lost. I think what happens in a passage is we get lost in the passage itself. You don't want to lose the details, the richness, but if you get lost in it, then you can't find your way. This is a map. Early will I seek you, God, because you are my God. You are my life. Your love is better than life. Knowing your love is what life is all about. You've been such a help to me, even when I've had enemies, even when I've had people lying about me. And you may have that now in your life. I choose to rejoice. What? See, you want to go to the simplest little movement out of all 5 of these units. Let's go back and look at this again. The psalm begins with affirmation. Oh God, you are my God. Let's go to unit 2 very quickly. The psalm moves to the character of God. See, I can affirm God because of his character, because of his loving loving nature. And because he has been my help, because of his actions. So you get this affirmation of God because of the character of God, because of the actions of God. And so the disposition that I take is the disposition of rejoicing in God in spite of what I may have going on in my life. Let's drill down a little further. God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh, my body is aching for you. I'm in a dry place. I'm thirsty. There's no water here. I've looked for you. I want to see your power and your glory. I've called this, I've scribbled in the margin of my Bible, a confession of yearning. Are you hungry for God? Do you realize that the solution is not merely victory over your enemy? The solution is God himself. Let me say it again. You have an enemy that's trying to kill you. That's verse 9, Psalm 63. You have an enemy that's lying about you. That's Psalm 63, verse 11. But your solution is not victory over that enemy. Your solution is God himself. My soul thirsts for you. I'm longing for you. I've looked for you. I want to see you. This is a confession of yearning. This is a drawing near to God who, James said, would draw near to you. The second thing I want to point out in Unit 2, and that's verses 3 through 5 in Psalm 63, is a profession. There's first a confession of yearning, and then there is a profession. My lips shall praise you. I will bless you while I live. I may not live much longer because Saul is trying to kill me, but while I live, I will bless you. I will lift my hands in your name. My soul, which was thirsty, is thirsty, will be satisfied with marrow and fatness. And again, he's talking about the physical affect. Listen to me. When you have an enemy, that enemy is coming after you, and you're under pressure and you're in stress all the time. When this is happening to you, your body doesn't do well. But he's saying, here's a way to minister to your body down to the joints and marrow of your very being. Here's a way to minister to your body when you're under stress. It is you profess, it's what you say. My lips will praise you. I will bless you. I will lift my hands. My soul and my body will feel the impact of this profession, of this mindset. My mouth shall praise you with joyful lips. Now, here's why he can do this. This is Unit 3, verses 6 and through 8. It is his mindset. I remember you. I meditate on you day and night. I go to bed not thinking about my enemy, but I go to bed thinking about you. I remember you. I meditate on you. Therefore, in the shadow of your wings, I will rejoice. My soul follows close behind you. Your right hand upholds me. This is the mental posture and the position that I'm taking. I am trying to get as close to God as I can. I'm trying to get under the shadow of his wings. I'm trying to follow close behind him. When he moves, I move. I am thinking about him, not about the enemy. I have an enemy that's lying about me. I have an enemy that's trying to kill me. But I'm trying to get my mind focused on God, his loving kindness, his goodness. I'm trying to get as close to him as I can. Here's the affirmation of yearning. Here is the profession of praise and worship. And here is the position of getting as close to God as I can. The posture that I'm taking, the mental disposition. And these are almost measurable actions of God. He has been my help, but I am trying to abide under the shadow of his wings. And all of this because I have a problem that I can't control. There are people who are seeking my life, trying to destroy me. But I'm convinced that in the end, they will see an unpleasant end to their life. They'll go down to the lower parts of the earth. They'll fall by the sword. Some battle will take them out. They are speaking lies, but those lies will be stopped. God will have the final word. The truth will be prevailed in the end. This is Psalm 63. So here's what I've learned to do. I've learned to go to the Bible and read a psalm and reflect on that psalm and wrestle with that psalm and look at the high points of that psalm and then pray that psalm to God. So we're almost at the end here. So Father, let me just confess that sometimes I don't have this unruffled disposition of David. And I just pray that you would help me set my mind on you and remember you in the night and through the day and meditate on you in the night watches. Let me understand that intercession is not just seeing the enemy, it's seeing you, because you are my help. I want to get close to you, under your wings. I want to follow right behind you, putting my feet in your footsteps. I want your right hand to uphold me. I want to praise you in the middle of whatever battle I'm in. I want to bless your name. I want to lift my hands. I want to feel in my body the impact of your presence in my soul. I want to be satisfied, because that's the only way my thirsty soul, my flesh that longs after you, will be satisfied when I'm in a place where there's no water. I want to see you. I want to see your power. I want to see your glory. So I'm learning to take this psalm and pray it back to God. Now, again, you will not be able to remember all the details of this psalm, but if you find the high points, God, you are my God. Every day when I start my day, I'm going to start my day seeking you because you love me. You keep me, and that love is better than life. You have been my help. And even if I'm in a battle right now with people who are trying to destroy me and speaking lies against me, I choose to rejoice in God. That's that's really it's four movements, but if you break it out, it's six. It's six. The affirmation, the confession, you are my God. The character of God, your love, the actions of God, you've acted in my behalf, you've been my help, and therefore I will praise you in spite of a bad situation that I'm in right now and lies that are being spoken about me. What a powerful psalm. This is the psalm, Psalm 63, that the early church prayed every day, every morning. They prayed this psalm. And of course, if I had more time, I'd go through it and I'd find more things, but I'm not trying to do a Bible study here to begin with. I'm just trying to get bread for the day. And so I want to read a psalm. I want to reflect on that psalm. I want to mark it up. I want to wrestle with it and reason with it some. Then I want to pray it back to God. And then I want to rest. And I want to let the Holy Spirit speak to me out of this psalm. I want to let God lift something off the page and let it just burn in me. And what's burning in me today is this idea that even my body is nourished by prayer, by the presence of God. The marrow of my bones is affected by my prayer life and by my relationship with God. What's jumping out at me is my discipline and ability to stay focused upon God when I'm going through a difficult hardship. What's jumping out at me is how do I get so close to Him that I'm under the shadow of His wings. I tell you, if you rush into your day without having breakfast with God, you will be the worse for it because you'll meet this enemy, your enemy, during the day, who's seeking to destroy your life, who's lying about you. And you won't have the strength from the early morning encounter. David knows, I need to go after you. It's my overcoming Saul is not in the strength of my arm. It's not in the proudness of my warrior ability. I need something that's bigger than humanity here, human help. I need God. You need God. And so every day you want to go to a psalm and you want to feed yourself or some other passage of scripture. And you want to get that, and just through the day you want to keep coming back to that. God, you are my God. You are a loving God who has acted in my behalf in so many times. And I just have to trust you with this enemy, this problem that I have, and the lies that are being spoken about me. I can't battle those things. But what I can do is I can rejoice in you. I can rejoice in you. What a powerful thing. It's counterintuitive to do this. It's opposite of any kind of thing you would want to do or think about. It's exactly the opposite of human nature to do what David is suggesting in Psalm 63. But I think it's great advice for us. Well, if you're anywhere near Lake City, I'm here for a conference this morning through Wednesday night. I think they're about 20, 25 churches, 27 churches, I think is the number that's coming together for this conference. Fly out of here. I'll be in Fayetteville, Arkansas on Friday for a conference with the Pentecostal um, Church of God. And then I am in Newton, North Carolina for a prayer impact Sunday. So God bless all of you, and glad to see you on, Marcia Francis. Glad to see you on from Resurrection Lutheran in Charlotte, Eldora. Glad to see you on this morning, Charlene, uh, Tracy. God bless you, Lydia. So always good to see you, Allison and Ray, Taba, Jerry, Telly. God bless you. Where in the world are you from? Uh, 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 God just touch her and the need she's posted here. Don Liz, Edme, Susan, God bless you. Um, Arnie, good to see you. I'm so sorry I missed the call last night. Stephen, so good to see you. Dorothy, Dennis, always a pleasure to see you. Shauna, Yvonne, and Sarah from Pakistan, and Darnell, and Mike, and Shirley. God bless you always, and Larry. And I think I got, Sheila, God bless all of you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless all of you.